too, but okay. So public comment. Is there any public in the lobby there, Bill?
Nobody currently.
None. Okay. All right. So I need approval of the June minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thank you, Vince. Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, yes,
Definitely.
thank you. Any discussion, corrections? Okay, oh, hey, Matt. Let me just move him from,
Hey, how's it going?
good. All right, we just got started. Okay, so no comments, questions, changes on the minutes. So I'll call the question. All those in favor? Aye. Give me a hand
Aye.
signal, please. Signal,
Aye.
please. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, update on commission members. Vince, your term, I think, expires at the end of the year, and you've
Right.
agreed to serve again. So,
Right. So I guess I need to appear before the council.
yeah. So
for approval.
So I think Cindy Caskey or Kathy McGannon will contact you with when that
Right.
needs to happen. So it's either
Yep.
the LNA or the full council. You don't have to go to
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other news is that Jeff Hackett is retiring at the end of this month, who is the Board of Ed Director of Technology. So do we know we were talking, but I need it on the record. Do we know anything about what's happening? And I guess, Laura, you said that they're posting the job.
I believe the job has
Wow.
been posted, but they're going to start the interview process. I think once after the C House principal search is wrapped up, which should be probably, I mean, that process should be going into its next and final phase next week. So hopefully the week after that, like the end of July.
So what do we need to do you think, to make sure that, I mean, not that Jeff was highly engaged, but he was somebody that we could contact and, was relatively responsive, I think, when we really needed him to be.
It would be nice to be able to get a question in the interviewing process, about either familiarity or, something about the station. Something about, their familiarity maybe with the video delivery system, because some school, a lot of schools will do morning announcements and that type of thing. So just find out what if they have that skill set.
Okay, so is my best route to go direct to Marty or to the HR person, or?
I can find that out. I will be seeing that person in about 10 minutes.
Okay. And I think it's best a request coming from the commission, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll let me know and I'll send something on behalf of the commission.
Agree. Right.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, good. Let's move. Since Laura is on the interviewing team for the C House principal job to replace Todd Manuel, who is now risen to the principal job. Hallelujah. He will be great, I think. Laura, why don't we jump to you on programming so that you
Thank
can get out of here.
Okay, thank you. In terms of general programming, we still have one more piece of new content that hasn't been run. We had a lot of sports to run, which took precedence because I feel those are more time sensitive rather than some of the adult education programming, which is not time specific, which is actually a nice thing. This is the first time we were able to run more original programming into the summer. Usually, once graduation comes and goes, July and August are pretty much all repeats except for the concerts. So we've been able to do that. The summer concerts, they've added Sunday concerts as well as Tuesday. So, which is nice because, every week we'll have 2 new pieces of programming, which is great. We're hoping to record the summer music camp concert. So I'm trying, again, I'm looking to find as many, original opportunities as possible over the summer. So I've been working with the senior center and the library and all the usual suspects, although, summer's just a slower time in general. And then in terms of original programming, actually tomorrow I'm meeting with the health department in TPAW. They want to do some videos about vaping. So I'm going to be working with them because that can be content for the station as well. I worked with them to create some PSAs that they'll be using in Region 1. And Sue Giacozzi was nice enough to, which, it's not my habit to give TCTV, a shout out, because when we run our programming, it's our programming. But so all those PSAs will say, and thanks to Trumbull Community Television for their help in making this video, which is nice because again, it's going to be all of Region 1, which is pretty much the whole western side of the state, Greenwich, Stamford, Norwalk, Wilton, Trumbull, Stratford. So it's going out to more than just our area as a PSA. Although we will, although they'll be airing on the station specifically for us. But those were done through the auspices of Trumbull Health Department. They were spearheading that. And then let's see, sports was great. The students really responded well to that.
In terms of what?
In terms of coverage, we've recorded more home games than we ever had previously.
And that's because we had student videographers?
Exactly. Yeah, and Matt has helped out too. I don't want to give Matt short shrift. He's been tremendously helpful in terms of reporting as well as editing. But, Matt can't be at every home game. So the students have definitely, been great because it's great training. It's great, experience for them too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then for fall sports, we're planning to continue live streaming home football games with Jeff Alterman and the Trumbull Eagle Network. And again, in the fall, I'm planning to, just offer more home games to the students and then just as an opportunity for the sports teams to get some more visibility.
Cool.
And then everybody's favorite topic, graduation, which, oh my gosh, that was not a fun evening for me. It was very stressful. The Sling Studio hub would not connect to the internet. I don't know why. I went through multiple troubleshooting steps multiple times. We rebooted the hub many times. I rebooted the iPad many times. I even deleted and reinstalled the Sling Studio iPad software to no avail. The only thing we could not do that we didn't try was a hard reboot, which would require, a paper clip stuck into the actual hub. It was gaff taped to the tripod and we didn't have a paper clip, and everybody was on the field. Everything was getting ready to go. So we could not do that. I also after the fact, I was told by many people that their personal iPhones were all on SOS, which means that Wi-Fi service wasn't available. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't know. I have to double check. I have not had the opportunity to try, to connect that hub inside. Ironically, if had it rained and had the graduation been indoors, I suspect we wouldn't have had that problem, but I can't prove it. That said, we always record on all 3 cameras on SD cards. So I took those, and the next day, Wednesday, I immediately edited them, put them together as if it were, what the live program would have looked like. And I posted it to YouTube the night of. I posted onto Facebook, and all our social medias, explaining that we were having internet issues and that we would get the link up. What I said on the post was that the link would be up the following Thursday, because that would have been the broadcast week, which is when we did broadcast it. But the YouTube link was actually up a week early. So people were happy and appreciative of that. And for the most part, people were disappointed, but understanding.
So what can we do next year how can we make sure that the internet is working on the football field? Like, that just doesn't seem like that hard
I think, well, because I mean, we were connecting to athletics, we were connecting to our hotspot. It just, if it's the Wi-Fi, I mean, maybe this is a discussion we have to have with whoever takes Jeff's place to make sure that, you know, that we have that connectivity.
If you have a crowd of people, like at the graduation ceremony, you just cannot rely on Wi-Fi or hotspot for that matter. You know,
The only,
we need a wired connection or one of those microwave transmitters.
Jens, what, right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump over you.
I mean, a
What I was,
hardwire connection.
what I was going to suggest, Kate, is that next year, Matt and I were at using a folding table on the field. I would propose that next year we be in the press box where, I'm not sure where the Ethernet hub is, but if we could hardwire into, you know, into that point from the press box, that would eliminate that problem. If we could use an Ethernet cable so that we were hardwired to the network.
I honestly thought we were hardwired because we talked about this before. I mean, if you go to the field the day before the event, you have tons of bandwidth. As soon as people start showing up, that's when you lose it. And so hardwired or have some kind of microwave extender is in my opinion the only option.
Okay, so what we have to do next year is testing ahead of time isn't actually the issue. It's because you're going to be competing on that day with everybody else that's got a phone trying to do something on the
Right.
internet.
Not replicating the exact
So
conditions.
the hardwire, I think we have to make a big note. Hardwire with microwave extender has to be the technical plan.
We also, I mean, this is partly my own fault because I didn't proactively get involved with this, but we did discuss this, I think, in previous years, that Wi-Fi was just not, or anything wireless was really not up to the task when so many people are there, and we can't ask them to go into airline or airplane mode, which would probably have solved it. But they want to film too, you know, they stream themselves.
Yeah,
so.
and they should be able to. And again, I apologize for that too, Jens, because my understanding was that if we were using our own hotspot as opposed to athletics, because in the 3 years that I've been involved in graduation, the first year went off without a hitch. And nothing, you know, the setup has not changed in 3 years. So the first year worked perfectly. Last year, there was an issue connecting, and we thought it was because the password to the athletics Wi-Fi was compromised. And so the password was changed. And then this year we couldn't even get on the Wi-Fi. So I feel it's almost been like whack-a-mole, where every year it's been a different issue. Do you know what I mean, Jens? Although, like you said, if we were hardwired, I think that would
I think that's what we have to go to now is we can't, again, it doesn't make sense to me that I'm sure there was just as many people trying to connect to the Wi-Fi 3 years ago as there was. I mean,
yeah, I don't think that would have changed.
Right.
Yeah, Kate,
Right.
I hate to
you need to make the note though that we have to be hardwired, no other option. And I know you need to go.
Yes, I'm sorry. I need to jump off. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Make a good choice.
Oh, I will. I've got a vested interest. That's my house.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's move back to finances. I haven't quite finished up the numbers for the fiscal year 23 budget, but we did not go over budget. We were fine. And the new year started July 1st, so I don't think we've spent any money yet, but we will soon. Any questions? Okay. Let's see. Election 23, we're going to have to pick up in August. Questions or comments about that, just for the record?
I think it's so Matt Braksik is now the teacher, right? Who is involved with the studio. Is that correct? We talked about last time that he has been moved into he's doing more. Is it wood? Does he do auto and wood shop and stuff like that? And he's now involved with the
Let
potentially
me
creating.
look at my notes. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I'm right.
So while you're looking at that, Kate, I would like to suggest that we get him involved in trying to get some students involved in trying to create, real-time stats. Something we can show. We were first we've been first, the last, I can't remember an election where we weren't first in
Mhm.
providing the
Right.
local results, and WTHN or the NH, whatever they're called, ABC, refer to our numbers. So I think we should try and make a splash. Just make it look good, make sure the sound works, have some nice graphics, have Vince as the tabulator in the background. Do it like we've done it in the past, but even better. With some more computer generated graphics and stuff like that. So I would like to see that, and I know I've involved or offered myself up several times and not shown up, but I would like to offer myself up for this.
And not show up
Yeah.
again.
I'll do it again, yeah. But I mean, seriously, it's one of our, like graduation, it's one of our flagships. I think a lot of people have come to look at the local election night coverage.
Yep.
To us for good, quick information.
Okay, perfect. All right, anything else on programming? Okay, then let's jump down to technical. How's the council chambers VDS system coming, Bill?
So the purchase requisition has been entered. The bid was awarded, and then went through and put that into the system. It's currently sitting, I checked it this morning, currently sitting in the pending approval stage. So finance has to approve it first. There was a funding issue in one of the ARPA funds. We had, I think it was 35,000 in that fund, and there's less than 35 in that fund. So Dan Martin was going to speak with Maria about how to remedy that.
How short are you?
The balance of that quote was going to be paid by the technology video conferencing upgrades for that room. So there's enough funds there to cover the balance, but I wanted to obviously hit the full 35 that we were allocated.
Yep.
TV was allocated. So I will follow up with Dan because I thought that was taken care of, but it hadn't been. So once that gets sent over to purchasing, they'll issue purchase order, send it to the vendor, and then we can start scheduling and things like that.
Okay. If there's anything you need me to do to lean on anybody, let me know.
Who won the bid? Phil, did we already talk about that?
DNR.
DNR.
There were two companies that bid, and DNR was the winner.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yep. Okay. Equipment, we've been ordering some additional accessories for our cameras. I think we'll keep doing that. Anything else that we need to, just looking back at the minutes from last time. Where are my minutes from June?
I know we were talking to Laura this month about platforms and tripods.
Yes. Yes, she ordered the tripods and the platforms, I believe, or the POs are in the works. I think I had to wait on one until the new fiscal year started. So that's all in process. Okay, so the backup storage cloud decision. So are we anywhere on that, Jens? And
I haven't spent any time on that. I think the key person here is Lara, or between us, we should decide what the different types or classes of media or programming is. How long the retention policy for
Does anybody have access to the actual town requirements? And maybe the safest thing to do is to follow town requirements for retention of records, particularly with government meetings and
That's a good idea.
are those, do we know who might know those? Or
Bill?
I'm checking now to see if I have a copy. If not, I'm sure I can find one.
and then I think ultimately then we just need to go through and make decisions on classify different types of programs and set some policies on how long they should be kept. Just intuitively, you know, it doesn't make sense to keep things forever because at some point it becomes overwhelming in terms of bandwidth, but you always trying to keep some samples going back a long time. So maybe we could develop a system where a select number of things get archived on a more permanent basis so that, you know, 50 years from now, they can go back and show a video of the band from 50 years before if they needed to. But you don't need to keep every concert ever done to do that. So, but I
So
think maybe
Ed,
we should,
would you be
maybe Jen,
willing-
we should probably set up a plan, like almost like figure like by November to have the whole plan in place. Cause I think we have to kind of really think it through and map it out. And I don't think it's anything time sensitive unless I'm wrong on that.
No, I think that's a good idea. So Ed, would you take the lead on gathering the information you need and then getting you and Laura and Jens together to come up with a recommendation that comes back to the commission, which I'm sure we'll agree with, but do that legwork and present something to us at the November meeting?
I could do that.
Excellent.
We did talk about reaching out to the Historical Society also, but it doesn't have to be now. But as you mentioned, who played at the Trumbull Day 50 years ago, maybe that would be historically interesting. I don't know. First selectman.
Okay, well, that's what you guys need to meet about, right?
Yeah.
Is what do you recommend? Okay, so and then Ed to chair. Okay, cool. That'd be great because I hadn't even thought about that. Oh, what did a elementary school concert band thing look like 50 years ago? That's a really good idea.
They actually look the same every year. But
So it's just the outfits, the clothes, their style changes.
3 blind mice played on a recorder.
God, just the thought of it is painful. Okay, let's see. Where are we now? Anything else on technology? No.
No.
Okay, and in August, we are definitely going to have to be focused on our election coverage. So yeah, Jens Bag, just to touch on that one more time.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're doing, but also promoting the programming.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to marketing and PR. So social media posting, content, and schedule. Not even sure what that means. Let's look at. I think she said she's been using Buffer so far and it works as a programming app.
That's probably to schedule posts so that you don't have to be online at the moment that you want it to go live. You can schedule it and then it goes live at that time.
So is there more that we should be doing here?
I could connect with her separately. I think that outside of the list here, the only thing is really to make sure that we continue to look at vertical video because all social media platforms are really pushing for vertical video. Obviously, it's a little bit different from what we're used to because we are doing a lot of live streams and more longer form content.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you define vertical video, please?
So 16:9. So if you're watching on your phone and you're watching it, well, we're not 16:9:16.
Literally, the picture is instead of this way. Got it. Okay.
So like not necessarily the best fit for long form content, but shorter pieces from long form content in that format is best for going out and getting a wider breadth of an audience. So tends to be like under 60 seconds for YouTube and then Instagram, obviously, and not that we're going into TikTok. But that's just where all the platforms are going. And that's where, in order to get the wider breadth of new people watching your content or more opportunities for people to discover that we have this content out there, it's worthwhile to do a few snippets so that more people are likely to discover it.
So it's just that awareness that we need to do the vertical video in our promotional content, whatever the platform.
Yes.
That's a great point. Okay, cool. And you will connect with her to, okay, super.
Yeah.
So that would hold true for like promos for original programming, is we want to make sure that we're creating both those that go on the station, but also anything we're posting on social media has to be reoriented.
Yes, like a little portion of it, like not for everything, but like for graduation, even if we just had a slide with it's like it's up now, is just kind of a way of getting it out in front of people that normally wouldn't be seeing it if
Yep.
if they're not searching for it.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right. Great. Thank you, Amy. All right. So we're down to THS connection. So we'll have to have a new strategy post-hot appointment to the THS principal job. I think we're also going to need to talk to Todd about, I mean, we have the advantage that he knows us and he's very committed to what we're doing, but how do we translate his support of us into the support of whoever the right person? I'm confident that he will make sure that there's somebody that's our contact. So I think we just have to make sure that happens. Problem is, I don't know if it'll happen quickly because he's got a lot on his plate, but I think we need to be aware, and Laura's got a good relationship with him, so do I, that we get him to put somebody as our point person to get somebody back on this commission, because it's not going to be him. Right? So I'm going to put need a THS appointment to the TCTV commission. Whether it's Matt Barasek or the new Seahouse principal remains to be seen, but it needs to be somebody that has some level of authority to get things done. And then the last thing, oh my God. Can somebody else keep running this? This is my doctor and I really have to talk to him.
Okay, we could just go through the, do you want to be, okay. Case unmute. I know Matt Braxic from Trumbull High. I hope he gets involved because he's a videographer himself and he knows how to run the soundboard at the school. He's a very technically qualified person. So, and I know he left his old classroom and he's now, or next year, he'll be doing more hands-on work, including video. So I hope he gets appointed. And there's the recruiting new staff from local college film TV makers. Ed, you mentioned, was it Fairfield U or Sacred Heart?
Mm-hmm.
Last time. Is there any update or anything for the minutes that we should talk about? No.
Not on my end. No.
All right. Let's see. Miscellaneous. Does anyone have anything that's not on the agenda?
Nope.
No. Okay. We have quorum, right? Even without Kate, we can.
We do.
We can. I motion to. What do I motion to finish the
Adjourn.
To adjourn. Thanks, Vince. I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thanks, Amy. We get this done.
Okay.
All right, everyone. See you later.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.